Yeah, let's move on. I want to talk about the third myth. Now, this one hurts a little bit, but the third myth is millennials can't afford homes.
Yeah,
Oof.
I feel like this is one we hear a lot, and for, I don't want to say rightly so, but we hear this a lot, and we know that right now, home ownership is tough. If you look at the statistics right now, only 43% of millennials own a home presently. When you compare that to all U.S. households, about 73% of all U.S. households own homes, only 43% of millennials. So you would arrive at the conclusion, man, it must be more difficult for millennials to buy homes than other generations. But I don't know that that's perfectly telling the exact accurate story.
I mean, I don't mind giving the credence that, yes, it is a tough time. We saw that the age of millennials is 27 to 42. We know that the average age for a first-time home buyer is now 36. That's kind of square right there, where the lion's share is going to be below that age.
That's
and
right.
why is
a
that
lot of
number
millennials aren't there yet.
And why is it up to 36 is because we just came through an inflationary period with now we have high interest rates. We just had houses go way up in value. It is a tougher time. I'm not going to minimize that in this decision, but I think there might be some things coming our way that could potentially mitigate this, Bo.
Yeah, I think while it has been tough, that does not suggest that it will always be tough and it will stay tough. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of folks have been trapped in their current mortgages. They refinanced a number of years ago and they have 2.5%, 3.5%, 4% mortgages. Well, if we start to see interest rates come down and we start to see some reprieve there, not only will affordability of houses become better because interest rates have dropped, but maybe some of those folks that are locked into their current house will start selling those. And if we have increased inventory of homes, it will also drive down the prices, increase the supply of homes, so that if you are a millennial trying to get into the home, there may be some things over the next couple of years that might make it a little bit easier, a little bit more possible for you to do that, whereas in these past 2 or 3 years, maybe it's been a little bit less possible to make that happen.
We've been very transparent. It's harder in this aspect. So this is why it's going to show preparation is actually going to be your friend. And if you guys need some free resources on this, if you go to moneyguy.com/resources, not only do we have like a home buying checklist, we'll cover that in a minute, but we also have a brand new calculator. So you can actually put in your numbers to see what type of housing you can afford. And maybe if it's not perfect right now, because right now there is this discussion or decision is it a better time to rent than it is to own? And it varies by markets. It varies by what your income and your career and everything else. There's a lot of things that you can go in and change, and it will change the answer to the question. But at least now you have a tool that will help you navigate that.
What I love about this tool is it allows you to see if you squeeze the balloon, where does the air go? If I were to think about, okay, if I could just increase my income this much, how much more home could I afford? Or if I know interest rates are here today, what happens if they were to just drop 1%? What does that do to the affordability of the home that I could get into? If I could save up a little bit extra capital, I could put a little bit more down, how much more home would that allow me to afford? What this will empower you to do is say, okay, here's where I am today. Here's maybe where I need to be a year from now, 18 months from now, 2 years from now. Okay, now I have a clear path to get to where I need to be able to get into a home. So just like you said, a little bit of due diligence, a little bit of extra effort, a little bit of planning on your end can go a long way. So use the tool, and then also go to moneyguy.com/resources and check out our home buying checklist. Because for most people, when it comes time to buy a house, this will be the single most expensive thing you ever buy in your entire life. So you want to make sure that you do it well. All you're doing is likely signing up for hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. So make sure you understand what it is you're getting into, and make sure you understand the boxes that you should check so that you can make this decision as wisely as possible.